All right, the Vampire Lestat is back, and the premiere episode, Detroit, completely flips the script. In this video, we dive deep into Lestat de Liancourt's chaotic 2025 rock tour, his raw mental breakdown on stage, and the shocking truth about his relationship with Louis. Why did Lestat really start the band? Was the original interview with the vampire book full of lies? We break down the psychology of Lestat's childhood trauma, Daniel Molloy's investigative digging, and the wild red pea scene. Let us know in the comments. Do you think Lestat is trying to rewrite history out of guilt, or is he finally exposing the truth? Hell yeah, break down today's title, Detroit.
Self-explanatory. First and foremost, I'm so excited that this show is back under a new name, following suit with the books. But Detroit is just that, where Lestat kind of has this awakening for himself in the city of Detroit. So super excited. Didn't know it goes down in the D like this, but here we are. We are here.
Like on Tubi, the Dirty D.
Yes, it's so cold in the D.
All right, so the premiere introduces a drastic shift in tone from Interview with the Vampire, moving from historical elegance to a raw, grungy 2025 rock and roll world. All right, so this question is going to you, Britt.
What's that?
How does,
I said, what's that?
How does this jarring new environment reflect Lestat's internal chaos?
Ooh, that's a really great question. You know, I always say that. So, one of the things that I noticed about it was that it was very confusing at first when I watched it. I had to watch the show about I watched it 4 times. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell my truth. I watched it 4 times. And when I watched it 4 times, what I noticed was something different every time. But basically, it was like total just debauchery, and it was chaos, and it was sex, drugs, and alcohol and stuff everywhere going on. It was just like throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what sticks. It was just wow. It was very overly stimulating. Very overly stimulating.
It was vampire ADHD. It was
Yes.
immortal
Yes.
ADHD.
ADHD / a little bipolar, a little schizophrenic.
And
You
a little
know?
neediness. A little
Yeah.
neediness too.
And if somebody needs a little accommodation, because there was a lot going on.
A little accommodation, a little of the right medication.
There's a lot going on.
A little
I was very
libations.
overwhelmed.
A
and
little
I don't get
libation.
overwhelmed. Libations, yes. I was like, what is going on right now? But then I realized the theme is rock. And that is the epitome of rock, is chaos.
Hey,
Books, Girls,
TT.
and Furs, thank you for joining us as always. Love to have you with us. She's watching from work, y'all.
This is Hey TT. It's the Fang Gang.
Corey, the question: how does this jarring new environment reflect Lestat's internal chaos?
So I think, and I echo what Britt said. Like when it first started, I was like, "What in the hell is going on?" I had to rewind it a couple times, rewatch it, start over, refocus, because it was such a different take on the beginning of this season compared to other seasons. Right? Other seasons, it was a nice lull or a drawl, so to speak, in the way and the cadence in which Louis would narrate, certain scenes, and it was none of that. It was chaos. It was hard hitting. It was fast. It was fast talking. Right, everything is just as combining, but it was great all at the same time. And it basically just says that Lestat is kind of going through, right? He's trying to figure out who he is. He's fighting, the book allegations, right? He's trying to. He claimed that it's basically
Never
they're his
fucking
version.
happened.
Lies. It's his version of fake news, basically, right? And so he's trying to spin it, and
Yes.
it's so funny because you do not see that version of him in the previous seasons. So I love the chaos. So I love it. Here we see the Brat Prince, right? We've heard that moniker before in referring to Lestat, but here we start to see the Brat Prince, as he's known by the fandom.
Hell yeah.
So the internal chaos doesn't have any place to hide anymore. So everything is front and Lestat centered. And so, as I mentioned before, you see vampire ADHD on steroids with LSD and along with the other drugs. So you're seeing the chaos of this immortal being, but he is also having some human problems, right? And so it's just like you mentioned, this is his version of fake news that he's combating, all the internal chaos that was already there, but it wasn't at the forefront because we had Louise stories going on, we had Claudia's story going on, we had all of those things that we were able to focus on. Now we're able to see the hot mess express that is this beautiful creation that is chaotic, that is Lestat.
Very well put.
He said that. Yeah. Yeah.
The wordsmith. Yes.
My man.
Okay. So, Corey, is his rock persona just a new layer of armor, or is it his truest form?
I don't think it's his truest form. I think it is an iteration of where he is now, with and how he's handling all the things, right? Because in this version, he's really kind of fighting against the world knowing about him, about vampires, et cetera, et cetera. And I think he finally accepts it at some point in this episode, which is why he's wanting to combat the allegations. And he's just like, basically gets to a point, I think, where he's like, well, fuck it, And I don't think that this is his truest form. I think he's somewhere in between chaos and king, so to speak, or chaos and prince, if that makes sense.
Hell yeah.
I respectfully disagree, and I think you just tied it in a bow for why I disagree. I think, no, seriously, I think the chaos and king is part of why this is his truest form, because that's who he is. He's chaos and he's king. He's all of these things wrapped in one, and because of all the things that he's experienced, that he's not really been able to deal with, this rock star and just letting it all hang out, and bringing it to this new era of 2025 with all the things. I feel like this is one of his truest forms, as opposed to another armor, because it's chaos and it is king. So I think it's a little bit of of his truest form.
And you could be right, because I'm thinking about the books, and there's a part in the books where he laments Louise despondentness and being so maudlin about everything, right? And that was a chief concern of his, if any of you read the books, right, about Louis' attitude and how he's so drab, etc., etc. and I think that kind of supports that. Like, he wants to be in the open, he wants to live his life in a way.
That's why the vampires want to kill him. You breaking all the rules,
right?
It's not how we live.
So far we have possibly two opposing views. Britt, what do you say?
I'm the tiebreaker. Okay, so I'm on the fence. So help me think it through, okay?
No shot there, Brittany. You're on the fence. Pick a side.
Help me think it through, okay? Okay, so look, this is how I feel. So didn't he drink Kasha's blood?
Yes.
Okay, so doesn't Kasha's blood cause chaos? Or mental instability, like, because it's so much information at one time?
Not really. I mean, I understand where you're going, but not really. Not really.
Okay. So all Kasha's blood did was make him immortal, correct?
Well, it made him stronger.
Made him stronger, a stronger immortal. Okay. Now, going down that path, thinking about what he has done in his life, hasn't music been the forefront of everything that he's done? Hasn't he always had music as something that was vital innately to who he is? So a musician always wants to share their craft, their art, for the most part. So I think I think I have to agree with Elia, where he's become, what did we say, Elia?
that he's chaos and king.
There we go. He's chaos and king because he's artistic. He's a musician. So he has all these different layers. He got layers. He's an onion. Got layers to his shit.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so let's move on just a little bit. So Louis tried to destroy the book's manuscript by burning a laptop, completely unaware of cloud saving. What does this hilarious yet telling action say about Louis' desperation to control the narrative versus Lestat's immediate decision to weaponize a global music tour to fight back?
Wait, can you say it one more time? That was loaded.
Yeah. Is Lestat driven by a genuine pursuit of truth, or is this an ego-driven defense mechanism to outrun his own guilt?
I don't think he feel guilty because I don't think he did anything wrong.
You're like, what?
Because it's Lestat.
Yeah, I don't think he feels
I'm
guilty.
motherfucking Lestat. I ain't do shit wrong.
I think it's more of Louis feeling guilty because you thought you burned that shit, much like me. Now realizing, like, dang, it's in the cloud. Deleted.
Yeah, I think he feel bad about that.
Because
like, snap, I got caught up.
It's perspective driven, right? So it's coming from the lens of Louis. So I feel like Louis feels more guilty than anything. If anything, I feel like Lestat's reaction was warranted. It was 100% warranted because it's just like, if we go back to one of my favorite lines in the show, I was being hunted, and all of these things that you get from Louis' perspective of how things happen. And it's like, wait a minute now, Louis. Wait a minute. Did you not enjoy going down the proverbial rabbit hole? Did you not enjoy your French white, the levitating and all the things, but you were being hunted? It's a matter of perspective. So,
Corey,
do you? So, I won't say that it's guilt. I don't think he feels guilt. I will say that I think that he has a little bit of remorse, so to speak, about how things all played out. Because ultimately he's by himself in Detroit, right? He's remaking, he's redoing, he's coming into his own again, so to speak. But I do believe that there's a piece of him, and this ties back to the end of the last season and even some of the flashbacks and clips that they showed when Claudia was being burnt and the look on his face and et cetera, et cetera. There is a bit of remorse that's kind of underlying all of this. So, and even the conversations between he and Louis, you could still see that there's something there, right? I don't think they ever kind of, I don't remember if they're in game or not. I don't believe, but there is still something there, like a remorse, so to speak. So I don't think that it's ego driven at all.
Okay. All right. Next question. We're gonna go to Corey. What does this hilarious yet telling action say about Louis' desperation to control the narrative versus Lestat's immediate decision to weaponize a global music tour to fight back?
I won't say that. I don't really feel that Louis was necessarily desperate. I think that he realized that when he was talking, that when telling, is that he shouldn't have been doing as much talking as what he was doing. I don't necessarily feel that it was, that it was a desperation on his attempt, because he knew damn well what he was doing. He knew he wanted to talk. He wanted to run his mouth. Louis liked to run his mouth, right? So Louis knew full well what he was doing. And I won't say that it was desperation. I think it was Louis being Louis. And Louis kind of lives for the drama and everything that happens as a result of the drama. On the flip side, I think Lestat is, I think Lestat's decision to use music is his best way to confront and control and express all the feelings that he feels as a result of the betrayal of Louis.
Interesting. Hell yeah.
So
This
Louis,
question is so meaty. It's so meaty.
so we love the meat. All right, let's get to it. So I think Louis was 100% desperate to control the narrative. You went and sought out Daniel Molloy after all this time. And so because you're immortal, you've had all this time to deal with it, to process it, to write, to rewrite, to revamp, so to speak, all of these things in your head to where, you have the recordings on the tape that were incomplete. So you sought out Daniel Molloy so you can get ahead of the narrative and spin it in your own way. I love Louis, but it was 100% a desperate attempt to get his side of the story out from his vantage point, because for all we know, Lestat may not even have been interested or whatever in even seeing the book, but it blew up. It did. I don't think anybody expected the book to go as far as it did. So now you got to kind of crawfish out of this shit, Louis, and be like, well, nobody's really gonna. Yeah, they're reading it. They're reading it. It's blown up in the human world as well as the vampire world. So 100%, he wanted to control the narrative simply because it shows. Because you went and found this man who was one of arguably the best storytellers on the planet to get the story out, so it's very believable. And then Lestat and true Lestat, Brett, Prince, all of the things form. Okay, you're gonna expose me? Well, I'm going on tour, bitch. I'm going on tour. I am gonna do an expose of the vampire world, but of course I'm gonna be at the forefront. I'm gonna paint myself in a light that you can understand from my vantage point what this looks like, what it's like to be me, not necessarily a woe is me, but here I am. This is me, and this is what's going on. And so, if I'm gonna do it, theater the vampire and all the things that are Lestat with the theatrics and everything, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have it where theater meets rock band meets world tour, and Louis with your petty ass, even though Beyonce might not be covering me, you gonna still see me.
So I agree with you, but I don't feel that Louis knew what he was doing. Yes, when he was trying to cover up, and try to walk it back, right? He definitely knew what he was doing. But in the moment of him talking to Daniel, in last season, right? I don't feel like it was malicious when he was actually talking to Daniel. He was just trying to express and tell his story, right?
Yeah, no malice.
Right. At the time, but now in present day, with him not telling him and he knew for a month, that obviously he ain't gonna know. He's so far into his own stuff, he ain't gonna know that the book out.
Because he arrogant. He ain't got time for this.
He got time for this. He's vain. He don't care nothing about all this.
I do think it was desperate because Louis wanted to talk. Louis wanted to get it all out there. So I agree with you. I 100% don't think it was a malicious or a big fat F you to Lestat. I don't think
he wanted to talk.
He wanted a therapist.
He wanted a therapist
story
to deal with him and Armand's bullshit.
Yes, Armand and his bullshit.
Yes,
to that.
I still don't like him. I don't care what you say.
I can't stand Armand.
I can't stand Armand.
That's a fine man, but I can't stand him.
I ain't gonna say he's fine, but he's something.
So, Britt, I don't know if you have any thoughts about that, or you heard your thoughts.
I heard most of my thoughts, but this one little part I wanted to add was that I really think Lestat was trying to speak his truth in terms of going on tour. I think that he's like, oh, Louis spoke his truth. Okay, now it's my turn to speak my truth because I need the world to hear me because I have something to say. I'm motherfucking Lestat.
All right, so this is where I'm gonna come in. Well, first, let's go to Books, Girls, and Purrs, and then I'm gonna give my thoughts. She says, I don't know, 1973 Daniel might say different. Louis did meet him twice to tell his story. He just didn't anticipate talking to Lestat before the book came out. So yes, that's basically where I was gonna go. So yeah, no doubt. Louis was trying to hide the situation. He basically thought, one of y'all said it. He basically thought that Lestat wouldn't see the book because Lestat is Lestat. He wouldn't see the book. But to the second point, it was something that I said in one of the previous seasons. Lestat and Louis had kind of sort of reconciled by this point, sort of, because of other things. Anyway, and so what Lestat was thinking was, in addition to me telling my own story, I need to protect Louis. Because I do have the blood of Akasha. And if somebody's gonna mess with somebody, let the focal point be me, so they'll forget all about Louis.
Right. And which actually happens. Which basically, for the most part.
Yeah. So allegedly
arcane.
Oh, okay, all right. Ahmad was sexy. Yep. All right, so let's move. So Daniel Molloy is back, acting as a top-shelf investigative journalist, documentarian. He repeatedly presses Lestat about whether he was a stutterer as a child. Why is Daniel so hyper-fixated on this specific detail? And how does this childhood stuttering connect to Lestat's deep-seated fear of negative evaluation? Let's start with Elia.
So I love how he presses him, right? And because Lestat is a master manipulator, right? We can get around the question, but it keeps going back to it. At first, I was like, why? Of course, we know if something is repeated, it's important. So I think he's pressing him to kind of deal with how it all began with their childhood trauma. And so because Lestat is so just grandiose how he presents what happened in your childhood, what is it with imperfections or criticism that you're not willing to deal with, you don't handle very well, and you go on the defense in order to distract away from what exactly is going on with you internally. So I think it's definitely very strategic, just to try to get a gauge of how it all began with Lestat.
Brent?
So I agree with a lot of what Elia said, but I also wanted to add a point that one of the things that kind of stood out to me was that he was funneling him down like in a sales tactic, where he was trying to see like, okay, if I funnel you down here, where is this conversation going to go? Okay, this is where it's going to go. All right, well, let me reverse it a little bit. What about when your band came together at Halloween? Let me backtrack a little bit because I done poked the bear. And then let me come back to it a little later on and see what was going to happen. So that was interesting that Daniel played that manipulative role like that.
And it's also basically it's the same thing that he did to Louis and Armand when they interviewed together. It's his way of kind of getting in between the greases, so to speak, and really sussing out what the truth is, even if you don't want to tell it. He gonna get it out. We gonna get it. We gonna get it to the meat of it at some point. But it's his own unique brand that I think is very interesting that they continue to use him in this way, which is I think a little bit different than what I don't even think the books kind of handle his character the same way. I don't think. I think it's
no, not.
I don't think he exists. I don't think. Yeah.
Well, in this book, yes,
but,
he does.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I related it to his childhood stuttering because people who stutter tend to have a whole lot of guilt. And I think that was the connection that Daniel was driving towards. I'm not certain about that. It's just me thinking, I have these strange thoughts. All right. When confronted with his past, Lestat deflects by bringing up Daniel's own transformational trauma, which Daniel denies having. Looking at their dynamic, is Daniel using his camera and journalistic detachment as a shield to avoid looking at his own transition into a vampire?
Yes.
Expound.
Yes. He's so focused on, because think about it. Like, I don't know the amount of time that's passed. I can't recall the amount of time that's passed between season 2 and season 3.
I want
But
to say 2 years.
but even, it's short, right? It's not a whole bunch of time, but it's such a drastic change for a character, right? To be human and then to be immortal, for us to see him, and he's completely accepted this new state of being, that there's no issues, there's no concerns. He's just, you know, he's really embracing the life, right? There has to be something, right? And I just don't feel that we got to the meat of why he really wanted to, I'm not necessarily transition, but transform into this new state of being. We never really got that. We got a base of why, right? A idea, but we never really got to the meat of why Daniel really wanted to be a vampire, other than, his illness, so to speak, right? But there has to be more there, because he's such a complex person. And I think that because of that, because of the illness, because of leaving his human family behind and all those things, there has to be some sort of feelings or some sort of trauma or something that needs to be addressed as a result of it. You can't just walk away from your life and everything that you knew and act as though nothing happened, right? Whether we see him be, super, exuberant about the change and really leaning into being a vampire, which we haven't seen, as a result of the happiness or the joy that he feels because he's no longer bound by, the human life, or having some sort of visceral reaction like Louis did, right? And being despondent over his transformation.
Britt?
I love what Corey had to say just now, because what it popped up in my mind was when Louis first met Daniel and that trauma that he went through, and
Right.
how it was probably intriguing to him but yet scary, and he wanted to go down that rabbit hole and see what life could be like if he actually was turned. You know how people trauma bond with their with their abuser. So I'm like, ooh, I wonder if that's what happened. So that's an interesting way of thinking about it.
Hell yeah.
I think this is right on brand for Daniel, because he uses his journalistic armor to often escape his true feelings, his true trauma. Because again, like when he wants to be turned into a vampire, he's escaping the fact that he's arguably homosexual. He's escaping the fact that his own life is messed up, and this is when he's human. So the fact that he transitions into a vampire and doesn't look back, to me, this is right on brand for him. It's a total deflection, because if I can, and to me, arguably, isn't that just journalists or people who are getting paid to be nosy? Isn't it a license to escape your own bull crap and just get into someone else's? Because I don't have to focus on what's going with me if I'm hyper focused on what's going on with someone else. And so that's arguably for me why Daniel is so amazing at what he does. He knows how to poke the bear. He knows how to get to the root of what is really going on, the ultimate chaos, because he's asking the tough questions, because it's relevant to who he is as a person, but he doesn't have to deal with him if he's hyper focused on dealing with someone else. So this is right on brand with him not dealing with the transition into being a vampire, because if I can do this expose or what have you with Lestat, or get into the deep things that are going on with Louis, I don't have to deal with me.
Mm-hmm.
So allegedly Arcane said, and he had time to think about it before he was turned. Everybody else didn't really have time to think about it.
I love that.
That is good.
That's true.
That is good.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's move. Lestat talks about how humanity has quickly moved on to automation and algorithmic lifestyles, making human life feel arbitrary. He claims facts are irrelevant. Feels are everything. As a 265-year-old being, is Lestat's worldview an accurate assessment of modern nihilism, or is he just projecting his own internal emptiness?
I think it's honestly what he's seen on social media, because that's exactly what social media and TV, the media outlets actually do, is invoke some type of emotion so that way you can have a reaction. And they want you to be an impulse buyer, or they want you to be an impulse reactor to the situation. They don't want you to necessarily think about it. They want you to feel and react from your feelings.
Corey?
I also think that I think it's really just a snapshot of where we are. I think it's a political statement that the show has made, or a statement on society, not necessarily politics, a statement on society where we are, right? And people have said this over and over, because of the rise of social media, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that we're losing a piece of ourselves, right? And facts no longer mean anything. It's really all about how you feel in the moment and all this other kind of stuff. And I really think that the point of that piece in the show is really to bring that point to light, right? That where we are in the moment. And he said some other things too that kind of delved into politics and other stuff that kind of ties into almost like social commentary, so to speak, which is what I think this is.
Oh yeah.
I think his worldview is right on point.
I agree.
And albeit, yes, he has some internal emptiness. That both things can be true.
I agree.
I think this is right on point of the worldview. And to put it from a previous season, the Odyssey of Recollection. Facts don't matter. They don't. They really, really don't. Because what's factual for me could be fiction for you, as we see with Lestat spazzing out. Never
lies.
Would you like to become a rewards member? No, thank you. No, I don't want to sign up for this. But I would agree. Like, intrinsically, people don't know how to think for real. It's just all the feels in the moment, and it's very fleeting. So I would agree with his worldview. Accurate.
I went already.
Oh, okay. My bad. I'm so sorry. Let's take a so I think it was Corey. Who said what I was going to say, which was basically that Lestat is, for all intents and purposes, a man of the time. Wherever things like, okay, this is where society is. This is where I'm going to be. He tries to fit in as much as possible, and so him saying what he said, he was really just reflecting what he believed the times to be. And that was it. Now, I do agree with that there's some truth there. He does have some emptiness, and let me explain how and why. He has emptiness because his first lover, Nikki, dead and gone. His second lover left him. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. His mother. Louis tried to kill him. His daughter tried to kill him.
Along with his child.
With good reason.
We're not going to cut out, this is for a good reason.
And he is dealing with the guilt of his own actions. Now, as it relates to his mom, there was really nothing that he could have done, because he knew. If you read the books, he knew his mom was going to leave him. So, but at the same time, he's still empty. He's like, where is his love? Right. All right. Now, before we go any further, though, I did want to ask you all something. I know that Britt mentioned earlier, the more she watched the episodes, the more she saw that she didn't catch the first time. What were some of the things that we saw? And my mind is fixated on that first scene. But you don't have to limit it there. What were some of the things that you saw in this particular episode that made you say, what the? Or What does this mean?
Mhm.
While Corey is buffering, I'm gonna deal with the fact that they got this damn doppelganger in there with that bad wig. To me, that was laughable, and I'm gathering, that's to have him be able to be a vampire, but at the same time have a human form, frolicking out there. But initially, like it kind of got past me because much like you all, I watched it multiple times and I'm like, whoa, what is happening? And then I think it was like maybe the second time that I watched it to where I can focus a little bit better. It was like, you don't have your contact in. And I'm like, what is happening? What is this? Who is this? What's going on?
Mhm.
So that piece kind of stood out for me. Just to
Corey?
So for me, it was the DJ and the callback to the theater, and that was a whole like, oh wait, who is that again? And trying to recall exactly his role and why is he with Daniel too? That's the other thing.
Of
Why is he
all
with
people.
Of all people, why is he with Daniel? But okay, I'm gonna leave that alone till a few more episodes.
Mhm.
But that whole time period, so it was nice to see someone from that particular part of the story not related to the main characters in this version of the show. And the other thing was the other parts, the amount of sex that they showed, because I don't feel like we saw that much sex in the second season as they were showing us those clips. I was like, did
You
I
were
miss?
traumatized, Corey?
No, not at all. I was just like, did I miss some? Who are these different men? I didn't understand.
It was the bellboy.
right, all on the elevator. Just
Yeah.
yes.
I was here for it.
I was
Um,
too. I just felt like, we had missed some people. Obviously, we did.
To me, that was
the,
rock and roll. That was rock and roll, and the chaos, and
Yes.
just like debauchery. As Brittany mentioned earlier, to me, that's the life of a rock star. This is what you do. Rock star lifestyle might not make it, but we gonna try.
Yeah.
So some of the things that I saw, first scene, Louis. When Louis walked in, one of his legs
Yes.
were missing.
I noticed that.
And I sent y'all a text last night. The reason for that, and he says it in his little monologue, meaning Lestat. He's recalling what happened after the situation with Akasha.
Yeah.
So at some point, Louis loses his leg. Armand loses an eye.
And I was all for it. I was cheering and clapping. That bitch.
Now, in Anne Rice's world, vampires can grow back limbs and things like that. The only time that you can't grow back limbs is like if you were made without one, or like if you were made without an eye. We're gonna see. We might see that a little bit later.
Like the process of it might be like it just happened. Like when they were showing the sale or whatever, the transaction, I think it must have it was very recent because they looked like they were still kind of battered and bruised and whatnot. She tore a piece of them off.
Also saw Baby Jinx. If you read the books, Baby Jinx is important. Of course, they changed the character quite a lot. Baby Jinx was a 14-year-old. This girl is not necessarily a 14-year-old, but they named her Baby Jinx. So some things are going to be consistent. We have a comment from Ayana M. All right. I don't know if you guys remember one of the prostitutes from season 1 when Louis was a pimp was missing a leg, and Louis even points it out. I wonder if that was foreshadowing.
Good question.
Okay. All right. So Baby Jinx, the Fang Gang.
On the same line with Baby Jinx, did you catch the part where Lestat was basically hallucinating on his drug-induced fever dream or whatever when he referred to people as muses? The muses? Okay.
Okay. All right. And speaking of, we're gonna go straight into that. Let's see. While performing in Detroit, Lestat experiences a massive breakdown where his vampire armor completely cracks on stage. He realizes he was the one holding the band back. What triggers this sudden collapse of his performative ego? Let's go with Brittany.
So was this when he OD'd on her blood?
Yeah.
Okay, so when he OD'd on her blood, he had like a ethereal moment where he was like out of his body and he was really experiencing like the ultimate high. And when you're high for the first time, your brain is like on its like third eye on a whole nother level. And so he's like, oh my gosh, I am not on my shit. We got to figure this out. What are we going to do to fix this? I need to look at myself because I'm fucking up.
Corey?
I agree. I think the drugs was a catalyst, right? The drugs and the music, I think together was a catalyst for and the thoughts and the feelings that all came at once was what caused his quote unquote vampire armor to go down, so to speak. And being hit with all those emotions and all those people that he heard or that he loved, and he saw the faces of Louis, and at that point was when he saw the death of Claudia again, and all those things kind of hit him at once. And I think that's when he kind of got a real dose of his life and the effect that he has had on others and how they've affected him.
Hell yeah.
So, as a music lover and as an artist, music evokes emotion. And so
I'm sensitive about my shit.
Right. You couple that with some good/bad drugs. Doesn't matter how immortal you are, at some point the walls are gonna come tumbling down. And I think in that moment he thinks he's battling his guitarist and like, no, I wanted you to have this instrument instead, and then he's having his solo, and oh my god, he starts flipping out like he's trying to one up me, but not realizing you're not battling with him. So once those drugs kicking in and this overwhelming amount of music, the way that y'all are playing, it becomes spiritual in a sense. And so I think that just kind of stops him in his tracks because you've reached the height of it. Because if you notice, like, the pitch of the music is constantly going up, and he really in essence wants to rip off the head of his own bandmate, but realizes, whoa, he's not the problem, it's me, wait a minute. So I just think it was just a huge climax so to speak. And that kind of just gets him to stand back and be like, whoa, this me. This is me. But yeah, I think that spiritual moment with the drugs and the music just kind of all tied it in a nice little bow for him.
So I've heard what everyone has said. I'm going to say something that maybe you all don't want to hear right now, but I'm going to say it. None of the above.
Say more.
It's something far worse. It's a
Gotcha.
In that particular moment, Lestat was going to do what Akasha had planned on doing, so she stopped him. She pulled him back.
Mm-hmm.
She gave him all of those memories, enough memories that would stop him. What he was going to do, he was going to do in a rash moment.
Mm-hmm.
But what Akasha has planned, she has plans for.
Yeah.
So she ain't gonna do it the way that he's planning on doing. Mm-hmm.
He was actually about to bite the drummer and kill all the people in the room. Because he was so out of it with anger at the drummer. I mean, not the drummer, the guitarist or whatever. He was just about to snap.
Yep. All right, so Lestat feeds on Baby Jinx while she is tripping on LSD and MDMA, causing him to hallucinate and lose control. In the book Queen of the Damned, she is turned as a teenager. Y'all, there's a story behind that. She was 14-year-old. She was giving birth to her child, and she died during labor, and some vampires turned up. But anyway, given the dark nature of their encounter in the elevator. Do we think the show is portraying this as something Lestat would only do under the heavy influence of drugs? Let's go to Elia.
So, if we're dealing with the fact that she was only 14, I'm going to say yes. Only under the heavy influence of drugs, because of the whole debacle with him never wanting to turn Claudia in the first place. So that would be my premise for why I would say, yeah, he would only do that on the heavy drugs.
Rick?
I think that when he sees children, he sees the innocence in them. And I think that he values that and he doesn't want to take that away from them. He wants to wait for them to grow up and then go from there. So I don't think he would violate her in that way because she is still a child.
Corey?
Yeah, I agree. And just based off of the experience with Claudia and the trauma that was that whole experience, I don't think that he would do that again. That's why I don't think that, and we kind of feel that she's of age. She's at least like 18 or 19 in this, but she's still younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
old enough to get married.
Oh.
Old enough to get married. Anyway, so my next question is going to Corey because he mentioned it. During the drug feud trip, Lestat sees muses and a floating girl on the ceiling. Why does Lestat's subconscious express his guilt and history through hallucinations of people he has wronged or loved?
I think I kind of feel like it's because of he's an ancient vampire and his classical knowledge. I think that's the way that he perceives it and he will understand it. And that's the way that most makes sense to him, right? To see that muse experience, quote unquote, right? And it kind of alludes to Greek tragedy in a way, kind of, sort of. Are we certain that they aren't muses?
I don't know.
Right. So, I mean, anything is possible. But I think that's why that comes into play. I think that's the way that relates to him the most.
Britt?
Ask the question one more time. My dog was coughing. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Sure. Why does Lestat's subconscious express his guilt and history through hallucinations of people he has wronged or loved?
I think that for Lestat, in order to actually connect with something on a emotional level, he has to have some type of connection to them in terms of whether that's love, whether that's anger, whether that's fear, hate, bitterness. He has to have some type of emotional connection because that's the only way he would value their opinion and what they think, what they feel, what they have to say based on what he's doing.
Elia?
He's not as cold as he portrays, and that's why it's the subconscious. And so the drugs and everything it helps to kind of bring down the barrier of the armor of whatever that he's put up. So he's not without remorse. So you're hallucinating because you actually do have some sense of guilt. And so you feel way more than you allow people to know. And so I think he's kind of haunted in a sense.
Red Thought. Do y'all think that Baby Jinx was a bait to make Lestat trip for the other vampires to kill him?
That's a good thought. I hadn't thought about that, honestly. I don't think they're smart enough to do that.
You mean the Tooth Gang?
Fang Gang. I don't think they smart enough. I don't think they were smart enough to kind of pull that off.
So they're not smart enough for strategy. I hear you. Britt?
They weren't the smartest cookies in the bunch. So no, it was pretty bad. It was very comedic. That was one of the funnier parts of the show. No.
Elia?
The way that it played out, I can see why one would think that, though, because literally right when they get off the elevator, she's like, oh, by the way, I'm getting married, and she scampers off. So, yeah.
Call back to
Bruce-
first season. Maybe Bruce was behind that. What are your thoughts, Bruce?
the one that attacked Claudia.
Hmm.
Nah,
I think Bruce is dead and gone.
He gone.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else that died in the theater, he with them, with the ancestors.
Some kind of
That's
way,
right.
huh? Some kind of way. Okay, all right. Let's talk about the infamous red pea scene in the Detroit men's room. Lestat uses this moment to explicitly correct the editorial wags of the book, confirming that vampires do pee. Why does the show emphasize such a raw taboo bodily function right before Lestat is confronted by the local Fang Gang coven?
I think it's because in Anne's book she talks about them and their bodily function. So I don't think it's a departure from, from the books, because she even talked about bloody semen, I believe, at one point,
Oh my goodness.
and it cried tears of blood and all that kind of stuff. I really feel like that's in the books.
I'm not going to say it's not. I'm certain I just overlooked it. Brittany, what are your thoughts?
I think that it's really interesting to think about bodily functions because their organs are dead. So
But they get erections.
yeah, but
That meat still works.
that's a chemical. Yeah, that meat still work. That's a chemical reaction. So I can see that part. That's a chemical That's chemical. I mean electrical.
Okay,
I can get that.
No.
It's a lot going on. It's the brain, it's the blood, it's a lot going on. To me, it was funny. It was
I
a
thought
funny
it was
scene.
hilarious.
It was the
And
point
yet,
of
at the same time, what he did was he was discounting Louis' telling of his story by mentioning those things. Like, look, he didn't mention that. This is something that should be talked about. I can get drunk. I can get high, and I can pee. Oh yeah, I cut you off.
No, I was saying I was more interested in the fact that you pouring Chardonnay in the urinal to clean it up.
Rinse it off.
Right, and so this whole display with the Tooth Gang, or Fang Gang, as they're going by, before they ultimately attack him, I just think was a good comic relief before all of that happens, and down to them like saying, "Hey, we're basically inviting you to their coven, and I'm pissing on your idea of me joining your coven." Coven is what happened for me in that scene. I'm figuratively pissing on that idea. Oh yeah, I'll come tomorrow. Tomorrow you're on the road. Yeah, I was trying to be polite.
Britt, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? She says Lestat isn't as demure as Louis. He wants to be real and straightforward and not tiptoe. What are your thoughts?
That's very true. That's
Louis is a
very
lady,
true.
honey.
Yes, Louis is a motherfucking lady.
Louis is
He is a lady
baby.
with pearls, the gloves, the little hat on the side, just the full first lady of the church. Okay,
Louis is a
Not
lady,
playing.
baby.
Y'all ain't gonna do my Louis like that. Y'all ain't gonna do my Louis like that. But allegedly, Arcane also says this. I'm going straight to hell yeah because I think that you would appreciate this. She says, "I was thinking the meat is always hard being a vampire."
Listen,
So in the books, Anne Rice does talk about how they have a constant.
listen, I'm immortal, so why not have this immortal erection? Why not?
Speaking of, did y'all see that scene when he was on stage? Y'all ain't kept it?
Mm-mm.
Which scene?
Oh, if y'all at home and y'all are watching this right now, did y'all catch that scene? He was on stage and then he said, I'm coming. And then y'all ain't see that?
I didn't see that.
Y'all need to go back and see it.
Yes, in the lyrics, but it's just these are lyrics, but this is really happening in real time.
So Demi Johnson says Bruce is called Killer by Claudia, and Baby Jinx is engaged to Killer. Oh. No spoilers, but it's going to be very interesting to see how they play this out.
Thank you for that.
Okay, right. Okay. I'm shocked. Not shocked. Actually, I like it.
I do like a callback to a previous season because it ties everything together.
Okay. All right. So let's go. When Lestat is cornered by Ross and the Detroit Regionals, he suffers from severe overconfidence, boasting that the Queen's blood makes him strong enough to take 20 vampires at once. How does his drug-induced state distort his survival instincts?
He got hit way too much.
Yeah. He was disarmed, 100% disarmed off the drugs. So your performance anxiety, if you will. Just stop with drugs. They are not helping you.
He wasn't taking full advantage of his abilities.
No, he was
by
not.
any means.
I mean, he can fly.
Right.
Now, well, then he could then too. So forgot about that.
Okay. Cautious blood with all of these drugs.
He has sex legs.
He was wobbly, baby. There
was a lot more elevator, and he was wearing a corset. Okay, have you ever had on a corset? It's hard to perform in a corset. Okay.
Maybe for Halloween.
His waist was snatched. Or you saw his waist
was snatched.
It was snatched.
Cinched, baby. It was cinched.
You got on satin and a corset. Pick a side. It's too much going on.
It is a lot, but we love it.
I love it. It was so much happening at one time.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again because
me too.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
You try to fight in a corset and tell me how successful you are.
I can't even walk in heels, much less move in a corset. Come on now.
All right, so Lestat casually ranks sex as merely the fourth best thing a vampire can do to avoid thinking about the past, placing it below killing, draining, and sipping. What does this clinical ranking say about his attachment to physical pleasure?
It's surprising because considering the amount of sex that he and Louis had and the amount of sex that he has, period, that it would be ranked as low as it is.
Oh, yeah.
It comes off like it's an afterthought.
Right.
Yeah. Give me the rankings again, because everything to me, I heard food, sex. I think
right.
And I would think that that's appropriate. So maybe I missed the rankings. Food, fucking. To me that tracks. That tracks.
Yeah, Corey clutching his pearl.
Did I get it wrong?
But when you think about it, though, when he wasn't eating, he was fucking.
Exactly. So how is the
ranking? Drinking.
Also food. How is that ranking wrong? I support this. I don't think that it dims the sex. It's just, to me, it just sounds like a typical Sunday through Saturday.
Elena Emmett says Baby Jinx definitely set him up and drugged him. Lestat calls her honey trapping Jinx in the episode, actually.
Honey trapping.
Okay.
Yeah, we're really trying to make Jinx and Bruce and all this happen. We're gonna have to put a pin on that, and we're gonna see who's right. Y'all might be right. We're gonna put a pin on that, and we're gonna come back to that because y'all might be onto something.
So, Elia, what do you think about this?
Number 4. Just saying, hey,
right.
I'm okay with the placement. I am
food
totally
one, but food encompasses all those other things.
It's
the
odyssey of recollection, Corey. In perspective is paramount, and facts are irrelevant.
He told us that already. He told us that. That's how he feels.
It's how you feel.
So, next question, same line. All right. Do you think? Do you think that this is some type of coping mechanism for dodging his emotional baggage?
Pleasure?
Food, sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you not feel comforted by all those things as a mortal, let alone an immortal? Yeah.
It is definitely a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And as an immortal, it's on a higher level.
Yes.
Like, it's
Can you
deeper.
imagine?
Yes, and an immortal full of drugs at that.
Yes, he's like, what do you do when you OD? Oh, that was funny.
Which one of you has OD'd before?
Yes, that was hilarious.
When I saw Daniel's hand raised, I was like, yeah, that's true.
I don't even know. All of us. Shit.
And then he was like, not her, me.
Oh my goodness.
That was funny.
That was hilarious.
This whole episode was like hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I need
So-
an Adderall to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to watch the after shows just to kind of be like, okay, let me decompress and kind of figure out what it was I just watched.
Me too.
Well, you know what? I have a question. The very first time that you watched it, did you have the same appreciation for the episode that you had the second, third, fourth time that you watched it?
No.
No,
And why is
because
it?
it just seemed deeper. Every time I watched it, I got in deeper and deeper and deeper. Like, oh, this is happening. Oh, this is happening. Why didn't I notice this? Oh, this happened. Like, it just got exciting because I was like, wow, there's so many layers to this.
I feel like the writing was very intentional, and as a person with attention issues, I could not focus. There were too many things to focus on, and so
Yes.
the first time that I watched it, I was literally all over the place, and
Yeah.
so it was like, whoo. And I believe I texted Jermaine. I was like, I don't know how I feel yet. I don't know how I feel yet because it was so much going on, and so I watched it again. I was like, okay. Then I watched it again, of course, the second time, which we'll leave that alone. You know why I was very distracted. But the more that I watched, I was like, okay, this is what's happening. And some of this is intentional. And again, it kind of brings you into that drug-induced world to where you are all over the place. You can't really focus. There's so much happening. So it's like, even if I'm completely sober watching this, I feel high.
Yeah.
Corey?
I have only watched it once. I'm watching the second time probably tomorrow.
Okay. Red Thought says chaotic as hell on purpose, I think. I agree with you. I agree with you.
I agree
Now-
with
Now, Onyx Crown has been so long. Onyx says about Baby Jinx being in on the set. That could also be why Lestat thought of Louis when he twirled her, not only because of the dance reminding him of Louis, but also his attempted murder.
Come on for the callback. I love it.
Okay, all right. So let's move. So Lestat admits he would likely be dead without Daniel coming to his rescue during the hallway fight. Considering their antagonistic interview dynamic, what shift occurs when Daniel, the mortal, the now vampire journalist, becomes Lestat's actual savior?
I think he kind of, instead of documenting and listening to and chronologizing the story, he actually becomes a part of it, right? Like, he becomes a part of the Lestat mythos, right? Instead of just listening to the drama and trying to dissect it from a journalistic point of view, he actually becomes a part of it. And I think that's going to change their relationship going forward a little bit, maybe. Like, it's kind of it feels like it's kind of gonna give me Scooby-Doo Gang a little bit.
don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
don't
about
know, Scoob. You know?
that. I know Scooby Doo, but I don't know. I don't know about that.
meaning that Daniel's gonna be involved and roped into
He
more
part of the
things because
clique.
he part of the clique now, and he's gonna be involved in more stuff.
Hell yeah. What occurs when Daniel, the journalist, recently turned vampire, becomes Lestat's actual savior? I read that for Brittany, really.
For me, it just speaks to now Daniel is part of the community. He's full vampire now, and I think savior is a stretch for Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel wants this damn story. Um,
Do you think it's just about the story though?
so, huh?
For Daniel, do you think the only reason why he saved him was because of the story?
Yeah,
Well,
that's the only reason, but
I don't think it's the only reason.
yeah, I don't think it's the only reason. I think there's a part of him that wanted Louis. There's a part of him that wanted Armand. There's a part of him that wanted Lestat. There's a part of him that you know what I'm saying? And so whatever I can, now I'm doing this documentary. I also, for him, if you go back to the end of season 2, they were calling into question his journalistic integrity. And so by having this documentary, that would prove, what he was saying was the truth. Especially, when you consider the fact that on camera, Daniel says, "I'm a vampire."
yes.
Britt, your thoughts? I'm sorry. I normally wait till the end.
No, it's okay, because that is true. When he said, "I'm a vampire," like, you're not supposed to admit it to mortals. What are you doing right now? Oh my God. What is happening? Everybody's chaos. What? Like, let's go.
So allegedly, Arcane said, "Fantasy of it all." Okay. All right. So at the end of his rope, Lestat is reunited with his former lover and mother, Gabriella. Gotta add the In the books, it's Gabrielle. He notices her new hair and takes shelter with her. It's another word for sex. Why does Lestat always regress to maternal or primary figures when his modern grand illusions of being a god completely falls apart?
It's on brand for him because this is like within the books. Anytime he's in distress, he summons Gabriella. I did think it was very weird.
This is not gonna be my favorite part of this season.
Mother, lover, all the things. But that's a source of comfort for him when he is completely gone off the rails. He summons her. And so I did want to mention though, they always mention her as kind of androgynous or masculine, those things. So I'm wondering if he mentions loving the look. I don't know if this is a wig that she has on in the show or whatever. And typically she wears male clothing and what have you. But anyway, I'm wondering where they're going to take it with her, kind of completely off base for what you asked. But again, this is normal for him when he's falling apart to want his mother, although it is a completely chaotic relationship.
When you saw her, what did you think? What did y'all think?
When you saw Gabrielle? Titties.
You thought what?
I thought
Wait,
Ayanna Van Zandt. Mammy titties. That's what I thought. That's what
Why she took it to Ayanna? She took it to Ayanna. A man with titties. Why Ayanna?
That woman name is Rhonda. It's not Ayanna. She made that shit up.
A blue.
We do not endorse those comments at all.
But that's what I thought. Allegedly. I busted out laughing because I was like, "Yo, this is real talk. Like, he really is on some mammy titty shit because he needed that comfort, and comfort is very inappropriate. But he needed that comfort to build himself back up, to have that ideology that I am a motherfucking god." That's what he needs. He needs mammy titties, y'all.
Okay, so Elia mentioned, I think it was Elia who mentioned, why did she look the way that she looked? So remember, Gabrielle and Lestat, they have their own history. She knew that he likes her with long hair. If she wasn't meeting him, she would not have kept her hair as long as it was. She just wasn't, right? And she would have come wearing men's clothes. Just that she was in his presence, so therefore she dressed the way that would be pleasing to him.
Yes, and when she tried to cut off that hair, it grow back anyway by the end of the night.
So Red Thought, is that Red Thought?
Red, yeah.
Okay. When he says her name, he starts stuttering again.
Oh, Lord. Don't forget
I didn't
the
notice that, but I kind of checked out of that whole scene because I knew who she was.
It was
so
so
I was
uncomfortable.
totally uninterested.
It felt wrong to watch.
Yes. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
He does. He did because he couldn't get her name out at first. It's absolutely accurate.
I'm curious how they're going to make her look different, though. Like, I really expected someone a little bit more severe in terms of the androgyny and, the look. I expected more of a Tilda Swinton look.
I have no clue who that is.
Okay. Well.
So Red Thought says after Game of Thrones, they're immune to incest on TV. What are your thoughts about incest on television, Brittany?
I think it makes me very uncomfortable. It's not okay. It's like boundaries, danger. No, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Just very uncomfortable to my core.
It doesn't make me uncomfortable simply because I like a lot of the period pieces, and so that's not something that was very uncommon. I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, I love watching incest on TV. It's not that, but I'm from the South. Yes, these things are abnormally normal. Hey,
we don't endorse that statement.
We do not. Disclaimer: definitely do not endorse it. But as far as watching it on TV, the shock value is not there for me. And I think I'm on brand with Red Thought or Red Thought, however you pronounce it. I'm immune to incest on TV simply because it's there. It's everywhere. I'm just not. The shock value is not there for me. I'm not gonna say I love to watch it, but I'm not uncomfortable. Like I cannot get through this scene. I'm not that there.
Or
I've read books with it in it, but most of those are
read books.
I have but most of those are books that are romantasy or male science fiction or whatever, the stepbrother play and that kind of stuff, that sort of thing. So I'm used to it, but it's weird when it's different when it's like a stepbrother as opposed to your mother.
We are not supposed to be okay with this. And let me be clear, I'm not saying I am okay with it.
No, we're not saying that.
I didn't have a problem getting through the scene though.
So Ayana Emmett says,
point.
I think we're meant to be uncomfortable, to be honest. The fact that she causes his stuttering to come back kind of indicates their relationship is meant to be disturbing. Britt, what are your thoughts?
I totally agree. Because that makes perfect sense now that she put it like that. Because I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this shit? Like, it was very disturbing. I called Elia, was like, what the fuck? like, I'm so upset right now. I do not like this.
And you know me, I'm gonna be devil's or angel's apprentice because there's nothing devilish about me, as opposed to devil's advocate, angel's apprentice. For me, it's like, do we think that they don't see it in that way now that she's been made a vampire by him? That's his fledgling, and so in essence, that's not even his mother anymore. So maybe they just don't see it that way. Again, I'm not saying that it's not cringy or weird, but perhaps, okay, you're hundreds of years old. For it factually, his mother died. She died, or what have you. So maybe they just don't process.
She was about to die, but he turned her.
She was
right. And so maybe for some reason, because there was, at least not that I saw, no mention of her abusing him when he was a child or any type of sex happening between them before he turned her. Unless I'm wrong, I don't remember any mention of that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Again, it's still cringy. I get it, but maybe they're playing by a different set of rules.
I will say this though, Corey, I saw that you were thinking. I know that you were deep in thought. I'm going to try to make this quick. His mother was the only person that he felt any kind of love for at all. Corey, your thoughts?
I agree, and I was just gonna say that in the books, and I think even in like some of the things that I've read about the series recently, that's the explanation that modern readers and most people give on the interpretation of the relationship is that it's meant to be a little bit different because they are immortal now, and it's not quite the same thing, so.
All right, so I want to go to Elia. I want to hear your thoughts on this. So Books, Girls, and Purrs says, Lestat is disgusted by Armand, but is down for his own mom.
So the word disgust for Lestat obviously means nothing because he smashed Armand, he smashed his mama. It's all the same. So it's just now with Armand did a lot. Armand threw a brick and hid his hand. He did. Armand did a lot of duplicitous things.
Underhanded.
So, as far as his mother is his fledgling. He made her. He did not make Armand. And so Armand, not in a sense, Armand is more powerful than he is. So he has a little bit of disdain for him there. I think Armand is a simp. And
Damn.
I do. I think he's a simp. He is, and he has all the feels for being 500 plus years old. He has all the feels. Backs are balls. We're back to that. You say he has no balls?
None of the balls. And actually, I think now that since Lestat has drunk the blood of Akasha, he is one of the most powerful vampires in the universe, in Anne Rice's universe. I think he's even more powerful than Armand now at this point. So,
Wow.
Britt, your thoughts?
Brittany's buffering.
I am.
You're right. Thank you for that, Corey.
Okay.
Armand is a shit show.
And I just said it because fuck Armand, and Lestat is more powerful than him.
Like didn't Lestat come back and save Louis? I want to make sure I got that right because it's been a while.
Oh yeah. You mean the
Armand.
Okay, but he thought Armand did it.
Correct.
That's some dirty ass shit to let somebody think that. That is some crooked ass shit. I don't like Armand. I like him, but I don't like him. If that makes sense.
I haven't liked him since last.
Exactly.
So.
Nothing. I'm gonna keep that to myself. All right. So Tootie in the booty.
I love it.
Don't forget the numbers.
I need new prescriptions. Man, y'all don't know the half of what Armand got going on. I'd take Gabriella over that any day. Don't want to spoil.
He is. Listen, if this is any indication, we already kind of know. It's been a while since I read, and so I.
A perpetual fuckboy. That's Armand.
Trash ass.
Trash.
And,
The ultimate fuckboy.
He
said it's a hot vampire summer.
No, it's not that. It's how dirty and how underhanded he is. That's what it is.
Yes.
It's not so much that he's a fuckboy.
He's so sneaky.
Then he had the trifecta. He done smashed Daniel. He smashed Louis. He smashed Lestat. He for the street.
One for all for one. He community did.
The trifecta. Come on, not for the community, the vampire community.
He's all for the
But think
vampire
about in context. So in Anne Rice, she's very sex positive. So that's.
I mean, no judge. I'm not judging. If you want to be for all, be for all. But damn, at some point you gotta slow down.
Well, it's decades in between all of that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
And they get
there's
bored.
there's
They
someone that
immortal.
y'all
They
don't
get
even know
bored.
about. There's someone that y'all don't even know about just
Damn,
yet.
there's more dick. Damn.
There's always more.
There's
There's
always-
always more.
And this is Anne Rice. This is Anne Rice's world. There's always more.
There's always more.
I love it. This is amazing. I'm having a wonderful time.
Do y'all think Lestat is confusing sex with love?
No.
Wait, you can't get the question out.
No.
No.
Good question, but no.
No.
Mm-mm.
It's Lestat.
Mm-mm.
So
I do think he loved Louis though.
I agree with
That
you
was
on
some
one.
different type of love. That was toxic.
Yeah, it was, but he loved him, and a lot of times, sometimes it is.
I
Ooh,
always
that was
love
some
it
toxic.
But this is the question. Oh, I'm sorry. I cut you off.
No, it's okay. I was just about to say all of Lestat's love is toxic. His mama,
is.
That's
Louis. It's right on brand.
that's
But
why
I
we
want y'all to
love
think
him.
about why. I want y'all to think about why. Armand said it himself. Once you turn a vampire, whoever you turn as that vampire, they're going to leave you.
Yeah.
They are going to leave you. Every single person that Lestat has turned has left him,
Left.
including Nikki.
Yeah.
Nikki was the first to leave him.
Mm.
Now, this is about Armand. He lied for 77 years, war crime level.
That's a long time to commit to a lie.
That it is.
77 years to believe
He
a
even
lie.
built lies on top of lies.
Look,
And
epitome of-
used his powers to mess with his mind and make him think that it was true.
the epitome of I'm gonna take it to my grave. Oh, that's right. I can't die. I'm never gonna tell the truth.
And gaslit Daddy Lou. I love Daddy Lou. I love it. With his prison of empathy.
Oh God.
yes.
And kill Claude. I mean, these comments, they just keep coming.
We all on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what he does to Daniel in the books is Alcatraz level of shit.
Damn.
That part, Armand is cray cray.
That sounds like something I would say.
Psychopath.
Like he
Okay,
really is.
Tootie
Like
in
in the
the
books,
book.
he is crazy. Like he's crazy.
All right. So looking ahead at the rest of the season, Lestat warns the viewer never to play two nights in Detroit. Do you think this entire season will be a dark journey of Lestat uncovering his own guilt? Or will he successfully manipulate the narrative to remain the hero of his own story?
He the motherfucking hero because he Lestat.
Well, we kind of already know that the whole chronicle is about he was Anne Rice's favorite character. So the chronicles, the story is about Lestat through and through.
Look how he posing in the photo.
Yeah, it's about Lestat. So ultimately, he will become right, but we just here for the ride.
Literally
and
figuratively.
figuratively.
I've been around y'all too long.
So this is what I'm going to say. I think when she originally wrote the book Interview with the Vampire, her favorite character was actually Louis, because Louis
Yeah.
was supposed to be her, right? That was her favorite
Oh
character.
wow.
Yeah.
I think she responded to what fans were saying. Fans actually liked Lestat.
Right.
And so she was like, what is it about Lestat? What is it about Lestat? And then she took herself out of it and she just looked at him, and that's the type of person that she would want to be with. She would want to be with a person like Lestat. So yes, in time,
Mhm.
Lestat became her favorite, but initially Louis was her favorite character.
And you can kind of tell in the way that Louis was written in the beginning as opposed to how he was written in later books. Kind of, sort of. It changes a little bit. The perspective of Louis and the relationship between Lestat and Louis and how she writes Louis is a little bit different when she begins to embrace Lestat a little bit.
I don't know about the heroic part of it all, of the question, but I do think it's going to be a dark psychological journey for Lestat, because we've already begun with episode peeling back these layers. And so less of a manipulative journey down the path of being a hero, and more of who is Lestat really.
I'm excited to see what's gonna happen, because the whole thing felt like a dark, evil nightmare, and I'm like, whoa, what's about to happen next? Because we in a drug-induced nightmare, and I'm all here for it. Yes, let's
Baby,
go.
Akasha gonna bring it out of
ride.
everybody. She gonna bring it out of everybody.
Everybody gonna be on some bullshit.
I'm also hoping that they introduce the other immortals in the series, because in this book you start to see more of the others. The ancient ones, the old ones. I forget what they call them in the books, but
we gonna see it. I don't know if it's gonna be this season,
ancients?
but we gonna see the who?
The ancients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least like
I don't know if it's gonna be this season, but definitely season 4.
Oh, that's exciting.
We should see at least like 1 or 2. Maybe not all of them, but like 1 or 2. If we see Akasha, we ought to see at least, what's her name? More. I can't think of her name right now.
The witch turned vampire. The twins.
Not them. It starts with an M.
They both start with an M. Or are you talking about Marius?
Marius. Not Marius. The late in the movie. In the book, she's something different, but in the movie, she.
So it's a woman you're talking about.
Yeah, it was a woman.
Maharit.
Yeah, her. That's her.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was my last question. But we still have more to go. On a scale. Well, first, is there anything that we did not talk about that you want to talk about? Okay. On a scale of Mayfair to 10, how would you rate this particular episode? We're gonna start with Brittany first.
Mayfair to 10, I say this is a 9. I liked it.
Us why.
I really liked it. Okay. So from the very beginning, it piqued my interest, where they had what was the thing with the music box? It was like a music box. And it was all these collections of different things that had to deal with, you know what, bullshit. When they put the little thing on, the record player on, it was like, you are a privileged person if you are listening to this. I said, oh shit, it's about to start. I was all excited because I was like, this is typical Lestat. I love it. I love
number
it.
5.
Yes, from that part, I was hooked.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna go with an 8. We do still have somewhere to go, and if I'm being honest, probably closer to a 7.5 for me, as opposed to 8. Not a bad episode at all. My level of distractibility, there was just a lot, and the fact that I had to watch it multiple times, it's good and bad for me. Like, whoa, okay, what's happening? Obviously that was by design, so not trashing the episode, love the episode. So it's somewhere between a 7.5 and an 8 for me. I'm also very biased. I am in love with Lestat, but not enough to give it a 9 or 10. We're not there yet. There are a lot of pieces that need to be uncovered, and there was so much that they had jam-packed into this initial episode. Again, not necessarily a bad thing, but we have some ways to go. Nowhere near Mayfair, so I'm gonna hang comfortably between a 7.5 to 8 for this episode.
Corey?
I'm also gonna say a 7.5 just because coming from last season, it's not the premiere episode that I wanted to see because I wanted to see a little bit more of the blanks filled in and not and just kind of being at such a loss about what the hell is going on wasn't necessarily what I wanted. But it still held my interest to the point where I'm excited to see what's future and what's going to happen in the story. So
Maybe I gave it an 8.5, and let me tell you why. Gave it an 8.5 because at the very beginning of the episode, they gave me Louis. And Louis he didn't have a leg. And some kind of way, Armand's eye was missing. And then Armand tried to smile at Louis.
He just turned his head or something. Yeah.
And then the back and forth between Louis and Lestat on
FaceTime.
Yeah.
FaceTime. I thought that was cute. I really thought it was cute. Like they had to bring in Louis some kind of way because as a character he was important for the first 2 seasons, and so they brought him in that way, and I thought that was cute, and it reestablished the ties that the two of them had,
Mm-hmm.
and then the fact that all along you were thinking that he was texting Louis, but he was actually texting Gabrielle. So that was like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Like, They continue to change Daniel's storyline, and I'm here for it. I'm here for how they're changing Daniel's storyline because they have to change it because things don't fit or didn't fit. So they're changing it, and I like the direction that they're going because Daniel himself, he's an instigator, and he instigates, and I love his instigation. Right,
he's a plot device in the show. Really,
one of the reasons why I will not give it a 10 is because I'm not gonna lie, the tone threw me off. Like the beginning, I was like, okay, this is what I know, right? And then when it got like real comical and silly and light, it was funny in parts, but at the same time, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? What's going on? I didn't understand it. But the more I watched it, and I was able to catch all the things that I wasn't catching because I was so stuck in my head. Like, this is different. This is different. This is different. There was a lot that I caught. There was a lot that I was able to say, watch out for this. Watch out for that. Watch out for this. And so for me, it was an 8.5. Okay. All right. So we're going to end it there. Thank you all so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time. See you. We've got questions and we know you have answers. So make love to our senses in the comments. Drop them down below.